Hey, welcome back to the channel. Let's talk about Daredevil 131. So the importance for this comic is that it's a first appearance for Bullseye. And if you don't know who Bullseye is, he is a psychotic killer who absolutely hates Daredevil. He has like no care in the world. Like this guy just murders for fun or boredom, and I would say he's probably either like a number one or number two villain for Daredevil. I'm pretty sure it's debatable, so we can just go ahead and just say he's a top contender for Daredevil as far as villain goes, right? His ability is pretty much take an object, take any object out there, like a pencil or a rock, a baseball, you name it, and throw it at somebody and kill him. Like he is pretty crazy with his accuracy when it comes to throwing things. So that's his main super ability. As far as major kills, as far as like affecting Daredevil, like he's killed Karen Page, he's killed Elektra, and then there's even a comic out there, well, what is it called, End of Days, where they go at it and he actually kills Daredevil. So that one though is a different version, and here's like the image of it, and it is pretty gruesome how he kills him. But just know that this is a different universe, so it's not the Earth 616 version of it. In fact, on the Earth 616 version, that one's called the Shadowland, and on Shadowland, Daredevil actually kills Bullseye. So just to let you know that little extra tidbit. Trying to think of anything else. Yeah, he's just pretty much a nuisance for Daredevil, and the comic itself's worth about 3,900. And there's about 90 or so as far as CGC graded. Now there's more than that technically if you were to look at the other grading companies, but as far as CGC goes, there's about 90 of them floating around. And I have it as a C tier because, so Daredevil, like Daredevil number one, to me is definitely an A tier. Now the superhero itself though is not the most popular Marvel superhero. Now he's probably like a top 20 or top 25 or so superhero, which also could be I mean it is debatable. So if you're just a huge Daredevil fan, you can kind of ignore this. That's absolutely fine with me. But I would say as far as like a global thing, if we were to take a poll, that I would think that Daredevil, as far as all the comic superheroes you can get in Marvel, he's probably on the higher end, like in the top 20s or top 25s or maybe even higher. Who knows? But so because of that, that's the reason why I have him as a C tier. And if you feel he's a B tier, go ahead. Like that's fine. Just remember that I just make this comic tier just based off of what I think the majority will agree with. So I was trying to think of anything else. Oh yeah, so what I added to the comic tier list is, if you notice, all the new colors going on over there. So that little color bar is a pretty much of each rarity that you can get on VeVe. So, each comic has 5 different rarities, and they're on VeVe. They're all colored. Like, I don't know if you noticed that. Like the commons they have like a little green circle, and the uncommons have like a purplish color going on. So I did the same thing. So you can mark it. And the way I got this idea was through Twitter. A guy on there named UCV Equinox that me and him engage from time to time on Twitter, and he had tagged my tier list, and he was marking these comics that he owns, and so it gave me the idea that, like, hey, I can take this idea and make it even better. And so that's what I did here. I added the rarities. So if you save these tier lists like on your mobile phone or your computer or your tablet, whatever, that usually you have some type of editing mode where you can just mark it, and that's kind of the idea of this. I know it's going to probably take a while to actually do something like this if you have a bunch of comics, but I figured it was better to have the option. So if you want to do it, the option's there, then not to have the option at all. And then the other thing that I added to the tier list was the spade icon, if you notice over there on the right hand side. So there's 5 comics out there as of right now that came out with a unique style of like grayscale covers. So what I mean by that is that the uncommons, the rares, and the ultra rares are all identical to the common cover, except for they all have a different type of grayscale going on. Like their ultra rares are all black and white, and then the uncommon and rare have different parts of black and white with color. So I bringing this to y'all's attention because, like, for instance, somebody had mentioned it on Twitter that, you know, these are the only ones, and it got me thinking that, like, that person might be right. Like, these might be the only ones that we'll get, and like, that's it. So when the new when the showroom actually allows comics to be displayed, that I was thinking that this might give it some weight. So once people start displaying their comics, that they're probably going to have them all stacked side by side, and, you know, it's going to look really cool to have like 4 different comic book covers, you know, all different versions, I guess you can say, of like grayscale. And I don't know, I just thought that might be some, you know, enough reason to give the comic book cover even more value. So I just figured I would throw that out there on my tier list. And, you know, if you don't think that's something that's going to give it value, that's totally fine. I get it. I just wanted to make sure that, you know, I'm not trying to like hide secrets from y'all. And that's the latest thing that got me going in my mind. I was thinking, you know what, that might actually be a pretty legit reason to give it even more value. Now, I could be wrong, though. Like, maybe a month or two down the road, maybe they do that type of grayscale version again. But as of right now, we haven't seen it since, I think, maybe October? I'm thinking October. I know comics came out, I believe, in August. And I can't remember if when the last ones came out for it. But, yeah, so you have 5 of them. And if you don't know, it's your Marvel Comics #1, Fantastic Four #1, Spider-Man #1, your Journey into Mystery 85, and then your New Mutants 98. So, yeah, that's it for now. That's all I have. I do plan on adding some more stuff to this tier list. It's kind of like in the works, but whenever I can find some time. So, but yeah, as always, thank you for watching.